agriculture. When you say audit of agriculture, syempre, ang PAS in standards na maire-relate ninyo dyan will be PAS 41, which pertains to the accounting treatment, financial presentation, and disclosure related to most agricultural activities. So, kasama dito yung biological assets, agricultural produce, and government grants related to biological assets. Actually, this topic, audit of agriculture, is not so much important pagdating sa CPA board exam. It is because hindi siya katulad ng malalaking categories natin ng accounts. Okay? When we are talking about agriculture, usually, papasok lang naman din kasi yan sa ating inventory. Kasi sino ba ang merong activity na agriculture? Siyempre, yung ang binibenta din nila ay agricultural produce, di ba? Okay. So, medyo related siya sa inventory. Okay? So, inapplicability of PAS 41. So, PAS 41 is inapplicable to agricultural produce after point of harvest. Kasi kapag napitas na po sila sa puno, they are now considered as inventory and ready for sale. It is also not applicable to land related to agricultural activity because that is part of your property, plant, and equipment. It is also does not pertain to intangible assets kasi merong sariling provisions for intangible assets, and it is also not applicable for agricultural activity that is not managed, such as ocean fishing or deforestation, because from the word itself, it's from agriculture, okay, sa lupa. Okay? So, common features that exist within this diversity include the following. One is capability to change. Okay? So, ang living animals and living plants ay capable of biological transformation. Kasi pwedeng manganak yan, pwedeng mamunga, or pwedeng mag-reproduce. And pangalawa, yung management of change. So, management facilities of biological transformation are necessary. Okay? And measurement of change. So, we also measure kung ano yung, say for instance, yung baka. Napunta siya sa iyo, bata pa siya, and then nagkaroon ng measurement ng change kasi nung tumanda na siya, naging inahin na. So, yun yung mga ina-account natin under PAS 41. Okay. So, when we are talking about biological asset, a biological asset is a living animal or plant. When we are talking about agricultural produce, it is a harvested product from the living animal or plant. Okay? So next, punta tayo sa consumable versus bearer biological assets. Hold on. Ayan. So when we are talking about consumable biological assets, ibig sabihin, they are produced in order to be consumed by the end user. So for example, yung baboy. Okay? Yung mga baboy, dalawa kasi purpose yan. Pwedeng paramihin mo siya or pwedeng i-consume mo na din. So, ang papasok dito sa consumable biological assets is yung mga kinakatay. Okay? So, this includes livestock intended for production of meat, livestock held for resale, livestock for sale, fish and farms, crops such as corn, cabbage, and carrots. While for better biological assets, ito naman po yung inahin. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, their purpose is for them to produce yung produce akin or yung yung example nito is yung livestock from which yung milk is produced. Okay? Ang product is milk, yung livestock is yung baka. Okay? So, kung ganun po yung purpose ng baka, considered siya as better biological assets. While for better plants naman, better plant assets, it will meet the criteria in the SEDS standard. They are the ones na pinanggagalingan naman nung bunga. Okay? And we also have mature biological assets. So, mature biological assets, ginagamit po sila para makapag-produce ng same kind nila. Okay? So, for example, yung inahing baboy. magpo-produce siya ng kanyang ano bang baby baboy, o 'di ba? Tapos yung baby baboy, yun yung ibebenta natin in the future. Okay. Recognition and measurement. How do we recognize biological assets and agricultural produce? We have to have these three requirements. Letter A, the entity controls the asset because of past events. Okay. Next is future economic benefits will flow to the enterprise and the fair value of the asset can be measured reliably. Okay. So, kung meron tayong initial recognition, we also have subsequent recognition. It depends upon kung ano yung mangyayari doon sa inyong biological assets. Okay? So, biological assets initially are recognized at its fair value less cost to sell. Okay? So, for example, ito po yung formula natin for fair value loss cost to sell. So, we have the estimated selling price. Ililess natin yung transportation and other necessary costs to bring the asset to the market. That will be our fair value. And then ililess natin yung cost to sell natin such as yung commission, yung regulatory agency fees, transfer taxes and duties, and that will be your fair value less cost to sell. For agricultural produce, the initial recognition shall be at its same lang din, fair value less cost to sell at the point of harvest. And for subsequent measurement, gagamitin na natin yung PAS2 or kasi inventories na, kasi na-harvest na po sila. So, ano nga ba ang rule natin pagdating sa inventories? Lower of cost or net realizable, tama ba? LCNRV. Lower of cost or net realizable value. Sorry, hiningal na ako kasi kanina pa ako nagre-record. Next. Okay. So, what if daw po is, ano ba? Ano ba itong topic? So, what if there is an inability to measure the fair value reliably? So, hindi mo malaman kung ano yung current fair market value ng biological assets, anong gagawin? So, ang gagawin po natin is just the carrying amount which is computed as your cost less accumulated depreciation and impairment losses, that will be your carrying value. Okay? So, usually, ang land at saka biological assets are considered as one kapag sa perspective ng kontrata. Like for example, pag bibili ka ng lupa, hindi pwedeng hindi kasama yung kung ano nakatanim sa kanya. However, sa perspective po ng accounting, kailangan po separate ang accounting ng biological assets at saka ng land. Okay? Kung may value yung biological asset mo. Okay? So, paano kapag ang purchase price natin will be a combined market price for the land and the biological asset. So, what you have to do is yung combined market price, ililess mo yung fair value ng land at saka land improvements, and then the remaining will be your biological assets. So, take note of this one. Kino-consider mo ng una yung fair market value ng land. Unlike sa ang pinurchase mo ay building and land, di ba? Sa building and land, you distribute the amount or the cost by getting the fair market value of both the building and land and you apply it proportionately, 'di ba? Gagawa ka ng fraction. Pero dito, from the consideration, ililess mo yung fair market value ng land and whatever is remaining will be considered as the value of your biological assets. Okay? Gains and losses. So, upon initial recognition, possible na gain and losses on initial recognition are recognized in the profit and loss in the period which they arise. Okay? For agriculture, for subsequent reporting, a gain or loss may arise only on recognition on agricultural produce because of harvesting. Okay? So, tignan natin. Wait lang. Wait lang, magbe-break lang ako ng konti. Okay, for your illustrative problem, we have to compute for the gain or loss due to price exchange, due to physical change, and to prepare ayun lang ha, all the related journal entries. So for number 1, we have to compute for the gain due to price change. Okay, so Platypus Incorporated has a herd of 15 one-year-old animal on January 15. 3 animals were born on July 1, 2025. Fair values are as follows. So, hanapin natin yung gain due to price change. Okay. So, we have your 1-year-old animal on January 1, 2025. It's 4,500. We have newborn on January 1, 2025, 3,600. And we have 1-year-old animal on December 31, 2025, 4,600. We also have newborn on December 31, 2025, 3,300. We have a 2-year-old animal on December 31, 2025, and 0.5-year-old animal on December 31, 2025. Okay. So, meron daw po tayong 1-year-old noong January 1, 2025. So, ito yan. Ang fair market value niyan is 4,500. So, on December 31, ang gain or loss due to to price change will be, we have to compare yung fair market value, dali lang. We have to compare yung fair market value nila beginning of the year at saka end of the year. So, this case, kung mapapansin nyo sa problem, we have 15-year-old animal on January 1, 2005. Tapos, three animals were born daw July 1, 2025. So, kung gain to price change, okay, gain to price change, number 1, we have to compute the difference of first type ng animal natin. Yung 1-year-old nung 2025, magkano na ang presyo niya noong December 31, 2025. So, the price of a 1-year-old animal December 2025 is 4,600. Okay, so ito yung 1-year-old. So, meron tayong 15 multiplied by 4,600 minus 4,500. Okay, so that's 100 times 15. Ang gain natin dyan is 1,500. Now, we also have a newborn on July 1 rather, 3,000 pesos ang presyo niyan. Pero magkano ba yung newborn ng December 31? That's 3,300. So we have 3 animals. Multiply natin yan sa 3,300 minus 3,000 na kanilang fair market value in beginning of the year. That's 300 times 3, that's 900 pesos. Okay? So ang gain due to price change natin is 2,400. Okay? Next requirement, we have to compute for the gain and loss due to physical change. So, sa number 2 naman tayo. Physical change. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So, sa physical change, kasi ang kinocompute naman natin dito is yung gain because of naging mature na yung ating biological assets. So, for number 1, di ba meron tayong 1-year-old animal? Okay. At the end of it, 1-year-old na sila ng January 1, 2025. So, pagdating ng December 31, 2025, itong 1-year-old nagiging 2 years old. Okay? And then, itong newborn natin ng July 1, 2025, Pagdating ng December 31, they are already 0.5-year-old, di ba? So, 0-year-old to 0.5. Okay. So, ang i-consider natin from the 1 year to 2 years old is yung presyo nila nung end of the year. Okay? So, we have 5,500. Ma-minus natin yan dito sa fair market value nung 1-year-old na 4,600. Okay? So, multiply natin yan by 15. This is amounting to 900 times 15. That's 13,500. And then we will also compare a 0.5-year-old animal, December 31, at saka yung newborn animal ng December 31, 2025. Ayan. So we have, magkano na ngayon? 3,400 minus 3,300, that's 100 pesos, times 3 is equals to 300. Okay. Aside from that, we will also have to recognize the gain for the newborn. Kasi, bakit po? Kasi po, itong newborn animal na to ng July 1, 2025 is considered as a gain na rin. Okay, due to physical change. Kasi una, wala naman siya, tapos nagkaroon, di ba? So, gain din po yan, pero 3,000 lang. 3,000 times 3 is equals to 9,000 pesos. So, ang gain due to physical change natin is 22,800. This is 9,000 lang. I-delete ko baka. Yan. Okay? For number 3 requirement, prepare or the related journal entries. Usually for gains and losses lang naman yung journal entry niyan. Okay. Okay? So, that's all lang for biological assets or audit for agriculture. It's a very short topic. And then, if follow ko po yung audit of investment.